There's a lot of new accessories for the very popular Nanlite Evoke 2400B. A motorized fresnel, a motorized head, a new reflector, and also new projector attachment for the Evoke 900C.
You're watching CineD, supported by B&H and CVP.
Welcome everybody here from NAB 2024. I'm here at Nanlux and Nanlite, but here we are with Jeremy from Nanlux. How are you?
I'm doing good. Good to see you, Nino.
Good to see you too. So we have this big puppy behind us that's proven to be very popular for you guys, the Evoke 2400B, a very, very large light. And you just introduced a couple new accessories for it.
Yes. So we have imminently shipping after the show the FL35E, which is electronic fresnel. It's 15 to 46 degrees. Same diameter as our existing fresnel for all the other Evokes. It's just a little bit deeper, and they have a motorized feature to it, which is great, which you can control with the Nanlink app over DMX, Ethernet, or CRMX with Lumen Radio. I have it connected here with Blackout over Ethernet because wireless at NAB is a cluster, as we discussed already. But the great thing about it is, because it can be controlled over Ethernet, let's say you have it up in a truss or you're not doing wireless, you can go as long as you can with Ethernet. So I can just slide it here and I'm zooming it to whatever I like it to be. So it's great. So that is one of the accessories that are coming out. We also include a new reflectors for it, because right now the 2400B only comes with a 45-degree reflector. So now we have a 30-degree and a 60-degree. And then we have an articulated motorized head that Tilta has collaborated with us to make. I don't know when that's shipping or pricing on that, but I do know the pricing for the Fresnel is $1,700 US.
Okay, cool. And I think there's something else, right, in terms of accessories?
One last thing we have for the Evoke 1200-900 series is a dedicated projector. So we're starting off with a zoom, so it's 15 to 30 degrees, which is great because you get a couple more lengths and sizes. So if you got the narrow size, if you want to bounce off a CRLS, light bridge and things like that, you can. And then you also have ones for wider, if you want to do a wider spot or follow, you could do that as well. It's also not stuck to being just a dedicated Nanlux projector. You can take that zoom barrel off, and you can still add other ET style lenses or Altman and those as well. So just like our existing projection adapter, this is like a version 2. It has a much bigger heat sink, which our technician has told us might help dissipate heat better, because that will open up the door to possibly other lenses that have a heat limitation. So we'll see. Well, film at 11 on that. More to come on that. So.
Just one question about this motorized Fresnel. So do you use the same app to actually control the light and the motor of this?
So with the firmware update, all you do is it's just another feature in the light.
Oh, perfect. Yeah. So it's not like a separate app or something.
No. So you have all those features in there. So you go to the 3 bars in the corner and it says fixture or Fresnel control. So you do that, and then you can control it all the same. So it's very convenient. You can still control all the dimmer, the CCT, the tint, and all that stuff. And then you got another parameter with the zoom. So that's great with the electronic connector. Sorry.
Oh, good. You mentioned pricing on this one, I think. What about pricing for the others and the projection attachment?
The pricing on the reflectors is coming very soon, as well as with the projector. So we'll probably find that in the next few weeks, and then we'll update everybody as well. So.
Well, and we heard that stuff has gone up in popularity for Nanlite and Nanlux because of this and a lot of other things. So how about availability of the new additions?
So the Fresnel should be here in May. That's the best time to get it, and then shortly after the reflectors will arrive. There are show specials here at NAB, so you can take advantage of discounts on those items with the lights. So it's kind of like a pre-order promotion. So that'd be great to do at your local Nanlux dealer.
Perfect. Anything else you want to add?
Yeah, I think, what we're really pushing, the 2400B is doing very well. I think people love the fact that they can run on house power in the US at nearly full power at 95%. Another thing I think people need to take another look at is the 900C. Now that we announced and launched at NAB last year, but that was shortly before the strike, and it kind of fell flat because everyone's worried about where's my next job. But now that some people are starting to come out, this light is kind of blown up, and I think for those that might have forgot about it, take another look, because because other manufacturers have gone out of the business. Like, I'm starting to notice, I think Nanlux and Nanlite might be the biggest manufacturer of RGB LAC lights right now, because there's not a lot of players. And the advantage of that is that light can produce so much output because it's not turning off any diodes in the cob. All the diodes are used at once at different times at different ratios. So it gives you more output, it gives you more richer saturation and things like that. And even for more powerful color lights that are on the market, this still matches. I'd still do a shootout. If you want output as far as color, it's a great look. So even though that's last year's light, it's still a great light. It's still amazing, and I think everyone might have forgot about it because of the strike. But
yeah, that's a good point. Everything went into kind of like hibernation after that. But out of curiosity, which traditional lights do you see being replaced by those new ones in general? Because of course, I mean, a couple of years ago, it was completely unthinkable to have LEDs with that amount of power. And now we're reaching heights of, HMIs and, like a lot of those lights. But are there any, I mean, I'm sure you're in contact also with rental houses and, they probably replacing existing stuff, right?
Yeah, I mean, some people are starting, I think we're getting requested now. So some of the bigger rental houses are starting to call us, like, okay, we need to start getting your lights. And they're getting a lot of movies, they saw the Dino 1200s in Barbie, but a lot of our other lights were getting used and other things that we had no clue. I was like, I didn't know that was in there. I just found out we were in The Creator. I was like, I didn't know that we were in that movie, so I'm gonna go find out about how that was used. But so to answer your question, the 2400B matches a 10K tungsten or 4K HMI. And when you think about that, a 10K tungsten is 100 amps. So you gotta bring in generator. There's no house power chance for that. Even, you're looking at 40 amps for most 4K HMIs. So to keep that under 20 amps, that's crazy. So that's what it replaces. The 900C kind of replaces a lot of things because it has the Lee library in there. You can dial in gels at a daylight or tungsten white point. That is still, as a gelled light, if I was to dial in the color here and put a gel in front of even more than a 12K tungsten, it's still matching it. It's about 6 times brighter than a 5K gel. So
people forget about that. They just think about the power of the light, but not how much you lose actually with a gel, right?
Yeah, because we're producing light instead of filtering light. Like there was a pilot that was shot just before the strike last year, and they supplemented the 900C with a Fresnel with 5K moles that were gelled. They had to turn down the 900C to 15% just to match the output. To match it, they had to turn it down, not up. Like you said, that's 5 years ago, that's crazy.
Actually, the most interesting review or shootout would be comparing to traditional lights, right? Because you're not really using two competing LED lights next to each other. What you're replacing is an existing hot light, and then you need to look at, okay, I need green gel or whatever, and then just try to emulate the same thing and just see how much, can I match it? Or am I at 15% because I'm like exceeding it?
I completely agree, but I think in addition to that, I think it should be compared to other LEDs on the market, because when the 900C first came out, they're like, oh, well, it's only 30% more power draw than other popular full color spot cobs on the market. I'm like, yeah, okay, but it's twice the price. Like, no, that doesn't mean it's 30% brighter because it's pulling 30%. Most other spot LED full color lights are RGB WW.
Well, it's a traditional way of thinking, right? Because original like hot lights, you just look at the watt and then it's like, oh, you assume how bright it is.
Yeah, I mean the perfect example to see what aspect ratio of efficiency is, if you look at another full color or bicolor light, look at the output difference between 3200 and 5600. You're looking at anywhere from 10 to 25 to 30% output difference. With the 900C, it's 1.7%. So you're using optimum, you're using as much of the diodes at all times. And so you're getting that type of output. And like I said, with the saturation, I think it's very impressive. It's a 6-color chip. There are 7-chip lights on the market, but for some, this is anecdotal, so it's only my experience that I've talked to others. They still think this is very saturated, even versus the 7-color chips. So
awesome, super interesting insights actually. Yeah, so I hope a lot of people watch this video, not just because of the accessories, but also because of... Thank you,
got
Jeremy.
to work with. It's good to see you, Nino.
Yeah, good to see you too.
All right.
Have a good rest of the show.
All right.
Thanks everybody for watching. Stay tuned to CineD for a lot more videos from NAB 2024. 2 more from Nanlite here, from the stand, from other products, and a lot more from many other manufacturers. And don't forget to subscribe and hit like on that video. Thank you.